Welcome back to Pouches and More. Today I'll be showing you how to make a stylish false leather and fabric pouch. It's perfect for makeup, stationery or just everyday essentials. We'll require some basic materials. So let's check out the materials required to make this stylish pouch. We require 2 pieces of false leather and these two measure 11.5 inches by 8.5 inches. We also require 2 pieces of lining fabric measuring 12 inches by 9 inches. 2 pieces of quilting sheet, we are using the foam quilting over here, and these two measure 12 inches by 9 inches. We'll be making a pocket. So for the inside pocket we require 1 piece of fabric measuring 11 inch by 7 3/4 inches, and we have just folded this right sides together. Fabric for zip tab measuring 2 inches by 1.5 inch. The contrast fabric here is a leftover fabric from another project. This measures 3 inches wide and around 27 inches long. We'll also be requiring an 11 inch long zip. So first we are going to attach this contrast fabric to the main fabric. We'll be leaving around 1 inch from both corners and we'll attach the fabric. So wrong side will be facing up and we're just going to place it like so. Make a straight stitch over here. So when we turn it will be like this. So we're finished stitching and we're just going to cut off the extra fabric and attach it to the side. Once we finish cutting this off, we'll be placing this on the raw edge of the contrast fabric and it'll be right sides together. So we'll place right sides together, align the edges neatly and make a stitch. We'll be stitching only on the contrast fabric. So right sides together, we'll be making a stitch over here on this raw edge, and it will be only on the contrast fabric, not on the main fabric. We're going to push the main fabric out of the way while stitching. So here we have pushed the main fabric out of the way and only on the contrast fabric we'll be stitching. We have aligned the raw edges together and it will be a straight stitch that we'll be doing till the end. So our contrast fabric is stitched and this is how it will be looking. Now we are just going to iron this only on the fabric side, not on the leather side. Now if you go to see, there is extra fabric all around. So we are just going to make a stitch on the edge and cut off the extra fabric now. So I have cut off the extra fabric and we have finished stitching. Now we need to make lines for quilting. So we are going to place this on the wrong side. That is a quilting sheet, foam sheet. We are just going to place it on the wrong side like this and we are going to quilt. Now here I'll be making lines on the fabric as well as the leather. So here on the joint lines we'll be making a stitch and also on the center. We'll also be making lines on the leather. Fabric we have finished making lines. On the leather also we'll be making lines like this. So now here we're just going to stitch this. On the fabric part we have finished stitching. Now for the leather we have made lines on the leather. The same lines we have made on the butter paper also. So this is a normal which we use in the kitchen. This is the normal butter paper sheet. So leather it sticks, so we have made the same lines on the sheet and we are going to stitch on the sheet. Now another thing is you can use this Teflon foot. It is easily available on Amazon and it doesn't stick to the leather. So in case you don't have this, you can always use a butter paper sheet. Once our stitching is done, we're just going to cut the extra upper part. After cutting that, on the stitch line, we'll just tear it like this. It comes off easily and there'll be no paper left also. It comes out very easily and the stitch looks neat. So this is the easiest method to stitch false leather, and even tearing the paper is easy. Now we have finished stitching the entire, quilting the entire sheet. We have also done that for the other part. So both our main fabrics are ready. We're just going to place this aside. Now as of now, we'll start making the pocket. So here pocket right sides are together. We just folded it in half and we'll be making a stitch on all three sides, leaving an opening. Stitching is done. This is the opening. Just cut off the corners so that it gives a neat finish once we turn it over. Flatten the seams all around, especially the open part, and then from the opening turn it over to the right side and push out the corners neatly. So turn it to the right side, and this is the open part. We have just pinned it and kept. Now we need to make a center mark in order to attach it to our lining fabric. So we're just going to fold it in half and make a center line both on the upper and lower part. Now this is our bottom, so the open will be on the lower part. Now the same thing we'll be doing on our lining fabric also. Just fold it in half and make a center mark, and the same thing up and down also, where we'll be placing the pocket. So this is the top part. We'll be placing the pocket like this, aligning it with the center line. Now since this is our top part, we'll be leaving around 2 inches. See that both the sides the measurement is equal, and we'll be stitching 3 sides with the back stitch in the start and stop. Our pocket is done. This is the opening. Now for attaching the zip, this is our 11.5 inch. So the main body measures 11.5 inch. We'll require a zip. Since we are putting the zip tab, we'll require a zip which is around 1/2 inch shorter. So the zip has to be 11 inches long. This will be our 11-inch mark. We are going to cut it on this mark. Here the slider has a V part. This is the open end. Means here we'll just be cutting it over here and folding and stitching the zip. Now on this part we'll be attaching the zipper tab. So right side facing the zipper, we're just going to make a stitch over here. Our stitch is done. Now here this is the top part, that is the slider part. Slider is facing up. We're just going to flip it over, make 2 folds like this, and we are again going to stitch this part. So our zipper tab is done. We're just going to cut the extra fabric on both the sides, and on this open end we'll just fold the zipper tape like this and pin it. We can either make a machine stitch or a simple hand stitch. So both the zipper tapes will be folding it like this. Same thing on the other side also. Just fold the zipper tape and pin it, and here we'll be making a stitch. So this is the open end of the zip. Now make a stitch over here. Our zipper is ready. Now we'll place it right side facing down. The main fabric right side will be facing up, the zipper slider side facing down, and both the ends will leave around 1/2 inch and then clip it. So on the main fabric we have clipped it. Now we are going to take the lining fabric right side facing down, align it from the top and again clip it. So here right sides are together. The zip is sandwiched in between a straight stitch. Once this is done, cut off any extra zipper if it's there, and now we need to make a top stitch. So for making the top stitch, we're just going to separate the fabrics like this and make a top stitch over here. The seams will all be under the lining fabric, and only on the lining fabric will be making a top stitch, not on the main fabric. This is how our top stitch will be, only on the lining fabric. Now we are going to put both the fabrics on one side and neatly flatten it like this. Any extra lining fabric now, you can cut it off. There will be slight fabric on the sides, so you need to cut it. Now once this is done, we need to attach the main fabric on the other side of the zipper tape. So we'll take the other piece, right side facing down, align it from the sides and the top, and again clip it to the zipper. So here we've got main fabrics right sides together, flip it over, and here we'll be attaching the lining fabric. Here we've got the pocket, so the pocket will be towards the zip. So right side facing down, align it from the top and clip them together. So here we have got lining fabric right sides together and the other side main fabric right sides together. We need to make a straight stitch over here. So straight stitch is done. Now as we did for the other side, we're just going to open the lining fabric, put the seams under the lining fabric and make a top stitch over here only on the lining fabric. Once that is done, again we'll just neatly flatten the main fabric and the lining fabric and cut off any extra lining fabric. So our main body is ready. We have made a top stitch on the lining fabric both sides. We're just going to remove the clips. Now put both the lining fabric right sides together, align all the edges neatly and clip them together. Same thing we'll be doing with the main fabric also. Align all three edges neatly and clip them together, right sides together. We'll have to now stitch all around, leaving an opening in the lining fabric. So this is the opening that we'll be leaving in the lining fabric, and all around will be . So we have stitched all around and this is the opening. Now we're just going to flatten the seam all around. After having flattened the seams, we need to box the corners. So for that we're just going to separate the fabrics like this. And we're going to align the base and the side stitch seams. Remember to flatten the seams and align the stitch lines, that is of the side and the base. See that the fabric is absolutely straight from inside. There are no folds. Now here from the corner we are going to make a marking of 1 inch on either side. That is the V part. We are going to make a marking of 1 inch from the corner. So here we have got a 1 inch mark over here on one side. And the same thing we'll do on the other side also, a 1 inch mark. Now these two 1 inch marks we are going to join with a straight line. This is where we need to make a stitch for the box. We are again going to clip this back. Now the same thing we'll be doing on the other three corners also. So from here it is 1 inch on either side and straight line. We have marked on all the 4 corners. Now we are going to make a stitch on the line over here. We're finished stitching, just cut off the extra fabric. And from this opening, turn it over to the right side. Push out all the corners neatly. Our pouch is turned to the right side and this is how it will be looking. Now the only thing left is we need to stitch the opening that we left in the lining part. So just put the fabrics together. We have already folded the seams initially, so it will be easy, and you can either hand stitch this or again machine stitch it. So it's a simple straight stitch that we'll be doing over here. So our pouch is completely ready and done. So our custom false leather pouch is ready to use or gift. Please do try this. It is simple to make. Please do not forget to like, share and subscribe. Thanks for watching. Bye.